Hello, everybody. Take a minute here, see who we got in, make sure our audio is good. Not too many people in yet. So we will give it a second, but we're going to get going. So I guess I will greet our replay viewers first. If you're watching this on the replay, stay tuned. We're going to do all kinds of neat stuff. We're going to, I got lots of stuff to talk about tonight. There's no guests tonight other than Mr. Connor himself right here. Say hi to everybody, Connor.
Hi.
Connor is my stepson, and he's going to help me out with some of the technical stuff here tonight. Maybe post some of your guys' questions up while I'm going around the fish room, trying to get you guys some good footage of some neat fish. Hello, Fish Tropic, and hello, Sandy. Thank you for joining us. By all means, what I always tell everybody, if you're a member of an aquarium society or fish club, represent, put it up there, and because aquarium clubs are going to need all the support we can give them coming up here in the right now and in the future. So thanks for joining us. I don't know if anybody has noticed, but I definitely have. My views have gone up a lot this last couple of months, and I thank all of you for that, because it's you guys watching is what makes that happen. And ironically enough, what happens is your subscribers go up as well. So we've had a huge jump in subscribers as well. We're not quite where we want to be. I don't know if we're ever going to be where we want to be, but we're not quite at my next goal yet. So if you're new to the channel, by all means, please hit that subscriber button and subscribe, and we're always bringing good stuff to you. So all that stuff aside, hello, Richie Rich. Thanks for joining us. There we go. Sandy's representing Kitchener-Waterloo Aquarium Society. Fantastic. That is an excellent group, actually. Actually, while we're talking about Kitchener-Waterloo Society, I have this fantastic looking 1991 edition of the Kitchener-Waterloo Aquarium Society monthly bulletin. So yes, it is from 1991. It's in fantastic shape, other than someone's had it folded, and it's got a bit of discoloration from being 21 years old. But yeah, it's got some great articles and whatnot in it. So I posted a video, not a YouTube video, but just a video on the Kitchener-Waterloo Aquarium Society Facebook page. And what I've offered to do, if there's any long-standing members of that club that would appreciate a piece of nostalgic material like this, I will gift it to them and mail it to them free of charge. I'm just happy to get, I love having it. Don't get me wrong. I like having it. I've read it. It's a great read, but I'm not a member of the Kitchener-Waterloo Club. So I feel someone that is a member of that club would most definitely have more of a appreciation for it than I would. So either Sandy, if you would like it, private message me on Facebook, or if you know another member from Kitchener-Waterloo that would like this publication, by all means, message me, give me a postal code and an address, and I will mail it out. Okay, DMC Productions, hello, thanks for joining us. Select Pet, hello, thank you for joining us. We're just getting started here. Anthony's Fishy Friends, hello, thank you for joining us. I do appreciate everybody that does join us. What does everybody think about the new studio you guys are looking at? We got some of our fish art and shrimp art up on the wall. pictures. We've decked out a little bench behind us with all my old aquarium fish magazine. That magazine holds a special place in my heart, and the reason being is when I was a little boy, when I was 12 years old, getting into aquariums, that's the only thing I could find. I grew up in Wasaga Beach, and honestly, that was the only publication I could find in the beach to get information on keeping fish. Can you imagine that, Connor?
Not really, no.
Not having the internet to find out everything you need.
No.
No, but that's how we had to do it back then. Everything was, I guess it makes me old, but it was magazines. That's how I could find out information about fish and what kind of fish that are available, how to look after them, where they came from. You couldn't just click a button then and get it. There was not a whole lot around. But yeah. Thanks, DMC. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's coming together. So we still, I don't know. I guess we're trying to improve our studio here, make things a little better. I can tell you that I used to spend a lot more time getting ready before a live stream to go live, getting everything set up, trying to get a decent background behind me, everything else, setting the computer up. I didn't really have a space down here for it. I just used a makeshift table and went at it. But now we got an actual where we're set up. We got some lighting. Yeah, it's golden. We're liking the improvements. Yes, Select Pet. If you came in just a bit after we started. This is my stepson Connor. He's gonna help me out tonight. He's been trying to get on one of my live streams, I guess, and tonight he just lit up when I said go on. But everybody can check out Connor's channel. He can type it in here and put a link in here or whatever. Find your link and put it in. And if you want to check out Connor's channel, you most definitely can. Where's the banana? Yes, we do. I'm going to show you that pothos in a second and how that pothos grows. It's on a pretty big tank there beside us, and I actually have, I'll just flip it to it for a second just so you can see one of the views I have set up for tonight. Go there. Yes. Yeah, the pothos is happening. What do you guys think of the 180? We've changed some things around. I've put in some fish that are way too small to be in there, but I thought, you know what, it's just going to be survival of the fittest. And believe it or not, there's tons of cichlid babies in there that were born in that tank and have survived. There's actually little wee half-inch venustus babies in there. Yeah, that tank does surprisingly well, and I find the bigger fish like the big front and the big venustus, they don't prey on the smaller fish too much if you keep them well fed. So yeah, there you go. So that's Connor's Facebook or YouTube channel there. And we got hello Petsaholic. Thank you for coming and checking us out, hang out. We're going to look at some cool stuff tonight. But yeah, pothos was one thing I wanted to talk about tonight. People have been talking about it a lot lately on different live streams. And yeah, so we do quite a bit with it. I'm not going to talk about it too much tonight, but believe it or not, on our website, you could buy pothos. I actually sell pothos clippings off of this plant on our website, and they're very reasonable and very generous portions. And you can get something started like this too from a nice pothos plant. So our speaking of that, our website has been updated. We have some very new approaches to it and a lot of new listings to it. We were not doing a whole lot with it. We were sticking more with the pleco caves and stuff, but now we have plants on there. We have livestock that we breed and sell. I haven't got shrimp on there yet, but there's going to be crystal red shrimps because I have like, I don't know, about 300 of them. I don't know, tons and tons. So they're a pretty cool strain of crystal red shrimp as well. They breed very true, but they're going to be on there soon. And yeah, like pothos, and we sell our caves, our wood pleco caves. You'll see some of them tonight. Well, actually, there's a spawn in one right now, and we'll show you that. Our website is. Yeah.
I can confirm the stuff does work. It's good supply and it does work. I've seen it in person. Everything is good on there.
Connor's helped make some of these caves, but that's our website there. Like I said, I don't like to use live streams to solicit too much, but I do like to get information out for people too that right now might be having a hard time finding certain fish or shrimp or supplies or whatever. So check us out. If you live along the 400 corridor between Aurelia and the GTA, we're going to start doing deliveries 1 day a week to the GTA, back from the GTA. So if you need to pick something up from Mike at Fanatics or any other stores down the city and you live between Toronto and Aurelia, I'm going to say Oakville. I'm going to go as far as Oakville. If you live in between that area and you need something picked up from them and brought back to you with no contact delivery, give me a shout as well. I haven't picked the day yet that we're going to start doing this, but I'm leaning heavily towards Thursdays. So, yeah, so it'll be cheap delivery, very inexpensive, actually cheaper than mail. And we're going to see how that goes, see if we can't help out ourselves and our fellow hobbyists at the same time. So I do have a write-up on our website about that. Okay, so tonight, now we got all that stuff aside. Tonight, basically what I'm going to do is the camera that you see on the 180 gallon tank, we're going to move that camera around the fish room today, and we're going to do some feedings and some lookings. I have a few tanks. We don't have time to go through every single tank and answer questions about every single tank. So I've picked like 5 tanks to go around, have a look at, some that people have expressed interest in lately, some that I've showcased lately, some that I haven't. So one tank that I don't showcase very often, and one fish that I don't talk about very often, is our 72 gallon bow front tank that houses some very, very neat little plecos. They're actually hemiancestrous. They're L128 blue phantoms. I have a trio of them in there, and I believe it is 1 male and 2 females. We're going to feed them. And yeah, I haven't dropped it in yet. I'm going to go do that in a second, just so they're out by the time we get there with the camera. The one thing about the hemiancestrous, that the 128s, Mine, anyways, are a little bit shy. They'll come out, and even if you go over to the tank, they'll be okay with it. But as soon as you pull the camera out and put that in front of their tank, they say the hell with you, and they go hide. But if I put a piece of zucchini in there on a fork, they generally tend to hang on the zucchini and stay around for some videoing. So that's what I'm hoping to do. Also in that tank, there's some Fisher woodcats. There's 3 of them. I don't know if we'll get a look at them. They don't come out during the day much at all. You have to come down here bright and early in the morning before the lights are on, and you can get a glimpse of them. I need a sip of my tea. I'm getting dry. Hello, Codyson. Welcome. Chewy, I don't know if I said hi to you yet. I did. Yeah. Sorry, trying to keep up with Small Fry. I don't think I said hi to you. But welcome everybody who's coming to the chat. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to start with the L128 Blue Phantoms. After that, we're going to feed the 55-gallon tank. It's got some beautiful red rainbows in it, New Guinea red rainbows, and it's got just a crap ton of short fin Ancestris, bushy nose plecos, bristle nose plecos. Oh, thanks for stopping by, Total Tropicals. Good luck with your move, and I guess we'll see you in the replay. So yeah, there's just a bunch, and then there's one of our wood caves actually has I haven't even looked today, to be honest. They were eggs yesterday. They may be wigglers today, but we'll have a look at that brood. One of the albino males has started picking up his spawning in that tank. So yeah, that will be neat. So, and I've already put the food in for the we'll have a look at my my current longfin breeding colony, which has got some pretty finny Ancestris in it. They got some pretty big fins, and one of the males has an exceptional set of horns on his face. He's pretty good to look at, and that's why he's in my breeding program. And then we're going to look at one more tank, and that's right now it's got some black metallic male guppies in it. And it's got my long fin bristle nose that I've been line breed. They're a very line bred strain that I've been working on for a while, and they're coming out gorgeous. I'm working on a blue. I'm working on a blue tint in them, and they have a very faint blue tint in them now. So they're almost getting big enough to spawn. So I got some caves in that tank for them, and I'm just going to feed the heck out of them until they're ready to spawn. But we'll have a look at them too. They're pretty impressive looking young group. I have not called the group yet. This is there's a couple that need to come out that I'm not happy with, but for the most part, their finnage and body shape and size looks really good to add to a breeding program. Okay, and at any point, if you guys have questions here, we're going to come back and answer questions. So I think, yeah, you ready? We'll get started. You're going to take over the driver's seat here.
And I have to unmute the tank spy thing?
Yeah, I will when I go over to it. And, yep, you can. You got this. Okay.
Going to take off these ones. And now put on these ones.
Hello.
Let's move over here.
Okay.
Headset fell.
Over there, Connor?
It's just a headset.
Okay. Okay, guys. So this is our 72 gallon go front. Connor, is there a way we can make you little? And make this bigger. I'm not sure if we can do it that way. No.
The audio is like really not good. I listened to it. It's like patchy.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll try. All right. Let's. They can still hear you, Connor, but they can't see you.
Okay.
Okay, got our technical stuff out of the way here. So this is our 72-gallon boat front. There's right there. No activity in the couple of feeds I've put in. One thing you will notice is that there's milkweeds all over the tank. The water's got a bit of an oaky color to it, and that's because I'm trying to drop the pH in this tank to get these guys installed. And the oak leaves are working. And if you can see down that corner, there's a Fishroom cat dead. They stay hidden for the majority of the day. But we'll get some zucchini here. Can't hear me. Okay, I'll go now. Still can't hear me, eh? What about now?
So we're just having some technical difficulties.
Sorry, guys. Okay. Put it on double.
Double? Okay. We're just trying to fix it for you guys here.
That was bad. Yeah, just plugged in. Okay, put me in thing.
Yep.
Okay, can anybody hear me now? No?
The headset my headset might be broken. I don't know. Can you guys hear us? Let's see here.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Much better?
Oh, it's better.
Yes. Much better?
Okay, good. Okay, we'll keep going here. Sorry about that, guys. So this is all I do for them. I put zucchini on a fork. Simply drop the fork in. Notice I do keep a lot of duckweed and water lettuce in this tank. I generally run this filter as well, but I have it shut off just because it's really noisy. Really noisy filter. So we'll give these guys quick that come out and start nibbling away. Should actually need a geo, maybe, but just leave that for a second. Audio still good? Say hi to kids. Go check out our live streams. So we're gonna go here for now, and the tank we're gonna look at is my longfins. They are out. Look at the horns on that fish. So this is my breeding group that I get most of my babies from for my longfins. I do have one more tank of very young longfins that I breed, but this is my main group. I have a couple of young males coming up. This guy up front looks like they've been fighting a bit because some of their fins are getting a little bit tattered. But that's part of it. When you have a breeding colony of fish, that happens. You get some fin damage. It doesn't mean your genetics are any worse. It just means they've been in, I guess, they've just been in an environment that's competing with other males. It's a little bit tattered up, but not too bad. These older males here, they're like 5 years old on this side, right here. So,
Hold on, guys. I'll try to fix this. If I...
I can answer those questions. I don't believe there are any babies right now. You can have a quick look. Just need to get the flashlight.
So,
I'm making anybody dizzy.
I have some people here saying that your volume's too low.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna come back over there and for questions, we'll just have a quick look. See if there's any eggs. I don't see any. They generally spawn in the wooden cages in here. I do get the odd spawn actually as well, but there's none right now. So the only other thing I wanted to show you over here for now is these are baby longfins from that tank. So when they come out of that tank, they come into this breeder box on my 90-gallon tank. And after they stay there, they go into the 90-gallon after a couple of weeks.
I've also had some people say that maybe your mic's not close enough.
Oh, Ed.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry about that, guys. I gotta move that way. Okay. We're getting feedback from something, Connor. All right. So what do we have here? Do we have any questions?
Tank spy, I think, is kind of making it. It's not muted.
Oh, there it is. Sorry, everybody. This isn't working out, so we might have to do question and answer without going around. I'll have to figure out a better system for for doing that. But if you have questions right now, we can answer some possibly. Sound. Yeah, you probably don't have questions because you couldn't hear what I was saying. Okay, so yeah, that sucks. I really wanted to go around the fish room with you guys, but that's not working. We got to figure out something else to do here. Maybe, I don't know if there's an adjustment here or something. Mute that mic now. Yeah, I don't know why that wasn't working. That mic usually works really, really good too on that phone. And I've done this before and that worked well, but I don't know why it wasn't this time. So I guess let's talk a little bit about nutrition. And I want to talk. Oh, I just seen a question before I get started here. Oh, wrong one. I do not have longfin green dragons. I have shortfin green dragons, but I do not have long fins. I have a friend that lives fairly close to me here that I haven't been in contact with lately, and I should give him a shout and see. He was had some long fin success, and he was going to trade me off some or sell me some. So I would like to get some long fin green dragons, but I don't have them yet. Okay, talk a bit about, I can do this. I don't know, I might bore the hell out of people with this, but I can do this. Talk a bit about line breeding ancestress. Got to take about a year per generations. So yeah, you're fairly correct. I would say it's probably for me closer to 8 to 9 months per generation. I don't know if the feeding pattern I have them on grows them a bit quicker. But anyways, yeah. So I guess essentially everybody's got different goals. Everybody has different goals. If someone chooses to line breed fish, they've chose to line breed fish out of two reasons. They've either just not wanted to bring new blood into their strains. They just because they happen to have brothers and sisters, they let them just breed together. Or you're selecting certain traits from certain fish, and they happen to be from the same line. And when I say the same line, I mean the same family line, either father to daughter, grandfather to granddaughter, vice versa. Or brothers to sisters, brothers to mother. It sounds really bad if you think about it, like if you're going to do that with humans, but it happens in the fish and in the animal world all the time. You don't think you got all these pure strains of fish and dogs and cats and everything else by not doing this. This is how it's done. It sounds, like I said, it sounds not good. And sometimes it can be not good. So and this is how we end up, honestly, with a lot of fish that don't necessarily meet the status quo or the wild caught health. They can, if you start manipulating genetics and getting genetic lines too thin, quite often what can happen is you start getting a drop in drop in eggs. You can get lots of things. If say a fish has a bad fin genetics that give this fish, their babies have just a little bit of a bad fin, it's just a little bit off, you start line breeding that, you're going to exploit that gene as well. So what I'm saying is you're going to exploit good genes that you want. You also very much take the chance of exploiting poor genes. So if you're going to line breed your fish or any other animal for that matter to try and get a desired trait out of it, you have to be very, very conscientious about getting undesired traits as well, because they're going to be exploited and they will come out tenfold. That being said, after about 5 or 6 generations of line breeding, it is good to bring in a bit of fresh blood, give it that little jolt of fresh blood, and then hopefully you kept the genes that you were trying to exploit, even with bringing in that fresh blood, and then you can exploit them further. I don't know if that made any sense to anybody, but that's essentially how it's done. So to be responsible about it is to, so for instance, these guppies I was going to show you just around the corner here, in which I actually could, because I have that webcam right there. These guppies, yeah, they're like 6th generation being line bred. And the line breeding has been predominantly grandfather fish to granddaughter fish. And that's where I've exploited a blue gene. So it's very faint. And that's taken me essentially 5 years to get to that point. So, yeah, that's it's not something for the faint of heart. It's not something to take lightly. And I will tell you, with these fish here, and none have left my fish room. None of these, this last batch have left my fish room until I see that they grow healthy, until I breed them and make sure that I still get a good egg count, until I let them live for I'm going to say 2 years, to make sure that they don't, I'm going to put it up in a sec. But I see some talk about pug-nosed zebras. Yeah, to make sure I don't get pug-nosed syndrome, make sure I don't get clamp fins, make sure I don't get a lot of these problems that you can incur by doing this. But and everybody says, well, just add new blood, Well, the more new blood you add, the more new blood you add, the longer it's going to take you. The longer it's going to take you to get to what you want. Because when you're exploiting and putting 2 very close genes together, you're essentially trying to make a clone is what you're doing. But you have to be very selective when you do it. Take the most perfect specimens you can from either side. Mother counts as much as father. You can't do this based on one gender of fish. I see a lot of people try to do this with guppies. They'll have a shit looking female guppy, and they have this absolutely gorgeous male guppy, and they think they're going to get the best fish out of it. Well, you got to have a good female as well. So with that being said, if you're going to do this with line breeding, you have to be committed and you have to be responsible about it, or you're not doing anything good. You're just going to do bad things. Chances are you're going to do bad things. You might like bump into something by accident, come up with the next best thing, whatever. But essentially you're playing God. You're getting a very thin gene line and you're trying to make a true line of something. It would be no different than with, I have my crystal red shrimp. I have double S quality, no entry, crystal red shrimp. These shrimp throw almost clones. I've never seen a bad shrimp come out of them. I've never seen a better shrimp come out of them. They throw double S. That's all they throw. And that's through a lot of line breeding. Okay, let me give my mouth a chance to not be so dry. Good old tea and Bailey's again tonight.
There's been a lot of people talking in chat.
Yeah, sorry, I'm hogging the microphone, Connor. Yes, Chewy, you're 100% correct. That's from breeding two zebras that even could have had a recessive pug nose gene in them, and they will create offspring with pug noses. I don't know if anybody's aware, but with Neolamprologus multifasciatus, they the same thing. I can tell when somebody's never diversified their genes with their multi-tanks, because they will end up with pug noses after probably 3 or 4 years. So what I did to combat that, because there's no genes I'm trying to exploit with my multis, there's nothing. I'd actually rather keep those genes as diversified as possible. So when I started my multi group, I started with 3 totally different groups. I did take a chance that they may have still been related, but I bought them from 3 separate sources that didn't live anywhere close to each other, hoping that I had some different genes within them, so that they would stay diversified. Hello, Zenon. Check your messenger, Zenon. I sent you a message like last year asking about if I could borrow some photos from you from the brass auction to advertise it, and you never got back to me. And then it was Sunday, actually, I messaged you as well. So I think you're gonna have to go into your messenger requests and see me there. Thank you for coming on the show. Welcome. So yes, like I was saying about the multis, that there's nothing I'm trying to accomplish with them other than just have happy, healthy fish that are as close to what they were when they came out of the lake as possible. So I keep very diversified genes there. Can you talk about how you're getting from 0 to breeding size in 7 or 8 months? Still talking about Ancestress. I sure can. I guess bottom line is good genetics first. Healthy fish. Healthy fish grow faster than unhealthy fish. So if you start with healthy fish, you're probably going to end with healthy fish. So once you start with good stock, the other thing I think, I don't know, I think a lot of people's Ancestress get stunted before they get a start. And what I'm saying there is just maybe the food that they're generally getting right off the bat isn't that hot. So what I've honestly found is my most, and I am trying to sell my stuff, but I'm being totally honest here. Why I started making pleco caves, wooden pleco caves, it wasn't to sell them. You know how hard these things are to make. It took me a long time to figure out how to make them a little more efficiently, and I could still make them even more efficiently if I bought some better equipment. But I made them for me. I made them for me because I had an idea that baby plecos and the father, who looks after all the babies, would benefit from a wood cave, would benefit from the biofilm that grows on the wood cave. And obviously the wigglers and the fry, even when they still have their yolk sacs on, I believe they benefit from rasping on the wood inside the wood caves as well, the biofilm on it, and just the wood. It gives them fiber. It gets their digestive systems a start. And when the digestive system gets a good start, it's able to accept other foods easier as well. Same with humans. If you don't have a very good digestive system, your whole system's not going to work well. So I think that's a good start they get. And on top of that, say I have one born in a slate cave. I think, again, putting them in a small container, putting the food right in front of their face. Their very first food they ever get from here is spirulina powder. easy for them to digest. They can eat all they want. And then I switch on to other foods as well. One food I'm actually going to talk about, it's just in a Ziploc baggie, but this is food I make. I use it for my shrimp and for my plecos. It's just little crisps. And I throw it in. They love it. They absolutely love it. What's in that is duckweed, spirulina, zucchini. There's some cuttlefish bone in there for calcium. Spinach. What else? I think that was it in this batch. But yeah, it's just like a super power pack food for plecos and shrimp. They love eating it. I find there's not as much waste as a commercial food, and they eat it all. None is ever left over, and the waste that comes out of them, like their feces, it doesn't seem to dirty the tank up quite as bad at all. So I use that. I use fresh zucchini as well. Bug Pro. Can't go wrong with some Bug Pro. And thank you, Connor. And how I do the Bug Pro, I mix the Bug Pro in with some North Fin veggie. And I put it in a pepper mill, and I mill it to the size of the fish that I'm feeding. And it helps with the growth. So good nutrition. The next thing I'm going to say is, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to come back because I know what people are going to say. Water volume for when they're growing. People are going to say, well, you put them in a little wee dinky breeder box. Well, that little wee dinky breeder box is attached to a 90-gallon tank. So it's getting the water from a 90-gallon tank. So when you're using a larger volume of water, your parameters stay more stable. Your water stays cleaner. The fish have more room to move. They grow faster. That coupled with a bit of heat, I give them a little bit of heat to grow them. I keep their tank at about 76 Fahrenheit. And on top of that, water changes. Water changes. Some people say, you don't need to change that much water. I say I do, and my test kits say I do. So the reason I need to change a lot of water. Sorry, I was just reading what Zeta was saying here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not good in your spaghetti. Definitely not good in your spaghetti or on your mashed potatoes. It's got a bit of a gritty taste. I feed a lot. I overfeed and I overwater change. And that's another key to raising babies very quickly. So I think with those three things combined, that pretty much, that's how I can get them to that size. I hope that answers the question anyways. From Chewy, what I have heard is getting tougher to breed wild-caught discus into ornamental strains because of the spread in water parameters. Yeah, I'm not sure. You know what? Unlike a lot of people on YouTube, I don't proclaim to be a professional at anything for that matter. So I have absolutely zero personal experience with discus. I know a bit about them from research, but again, zero personal, so I can't speak on that. But I have heard that, discus can be somewhat temperamental with pH swings, whatnot. They have a hard time acclimating. What's the best fish in Lake Victoria that nobody has heard of or seen in the hobby? the lake is ginormous, but nothing comes out of it when compared to Malawi and Lake Tanganyika. Well, I'm not sure. I can't keep up with Lake Victoria for some because they just don't. Again, numbers. I don't know why plecos do the same thing with all the numbers, with the species numbers. Honestly, the only Lake Victorian cichlid I've ever kept is species 44, and they were extremely aggressive, and I think a lot of Lake Victorian species are. One thing I do know about Lake Victoria is that it is polluted. It is extremely polluted, and that's why most of the fish in that lake are on the endangered species.
It's a good question if you go down.
Yeah, I'm getting there. How far down? Am I way behind?
Quite a bit behind.
Tia Bailey's works, buddy. Got some kudos for Connor. That is due to a lot of cichlid diversity of Lake Victoria. Went extinct from Lake Victoria. What is in the hobby now is pretty much what you see around there. Big issues with that fish.
Yeah, that.
Okay. There's a food that your baby plecos, I'm assuming you're meaning Ancestris. Now, one thing, if you grind this Bug Pro up in a pepper mill into basically a powder form, and then swish your fingers in the tank and put it to the bottom, they most definitely will eat that. The other thing, I just did a video, Sandy. I'll explain it to you now, but the video will explain it to you way better than I did. So go back like I don't know, 2 videos, Connor? Yeah, I did everything you need to know about breeding Ancestris. And yeah, maybe you could throw that link up there, Connor.
Yeah, I'm going to.
And I explain it. The very first food I ever give any baby Ancestris after I pull them out of the cave is powdered spirulina. I literally make the water a greenish blue and let it all settle on the bottom, and they scour it up. You'll see their green poop everywhere the next morning.
This one?
Yep. That's it.
Share.
I kept Brown's F1 generation in 6 pH years ago. I could keep ornamental discus in Lake Malawi. Wow. So that's come a long ways because Lake Malawi, so I don't know, what is it, pH of 8? That's basically my water. Yeah, I would have thought that most discus would have would not handle that at all. Hello, Big J. How are you? Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate the support. Yeah, I think we caught up.
I just want to slip this in. Make sure to like and subscribe for more fish content.
There you go. We got our advertiser over here. For anybody who's come on later in the stream, this is my stepson Connor helping me out tonight. He wanted to stick his face in a live stream, see what it's like.
Yeah, it's better than when I tried to do one.
Yeah, so what do you think of doing live streams?
It's fun if you have a lot of people like you do. When I tried to do mine, I had no one. Well, you have a lot of people that are very active. When I did mine, I had 0 people watching. So. Yeah.
Well, it takes time.
Yeah.
Takes time. Takes a lot of time. You cannot keep wild discus or a few generations after in Lake Malawi, but Yeah. Yeah, mankind wanted an easy to keep discus. Yeah, that would be better. They're beautiful fish, and I don't. I guess I've just never gotten into them. I'm not. I'm not afraid to play with water parameters. You can ask Connor, man. While I was trying to figure out, if I'm trying to figure out a new water parameter, I'm like a mad scientist down here. I'll figure it out. I'll figure out what I got to put in the tank to do it, or what buffer I got to use. But I don't know. Do people find discus exciting fish? Like, I guess I'm not trying to knock discus. They're beautiful, but they're just there. They don't.
Yeah, they're cool looking, but they're just like you said, they're just kind of there, just cool. They're cool to look at. They just don't do
much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess that's why I kind of prefer active fish. And I say that, but I keep a lot of plecos, so that doesn't make sense either. But I don't know. I just never really got into discus. I went the shrimp route. I guess I could have went for discus, or I could have went for shrimp, and I chose shrimp to play with water to try to get what I wanted out of them. Now, one thing that is going to be new here. Actually, one thing that is new. I don't know if I got to tilt towards you, Connor. If you see that fish tank over there, I set that up for this little studio here. So that's got, I just have a few cherry neocaradinas, and I threw them in there, and they seem to be happy back there. So that freed me up a 20-gallon cube that's already got 88 Amazonia in it, totally ready to rock. And I think I got to try a new strain of caradina. I'm going to mix a few different, couple of different fish together, see what I can come up with. I'm going to play around with that a little bit. So that's going to be the next thing I work with. I got to move a bunch of shrimp around here. I got to move a bunch of shrimp. So that's basically what I have going on here right now. And I'm working on these. We didn't really talk about them because of our technical difficulties. But the Blue Phantom tank, I have it littered with oak leaves now. I'm working very diligently on lowering the pH in that tank, and it's hard to do without an active substrate. I don't have an active substrate. Honestly, if these leaves don't get me to where I want to go, I'm putting peat moss in the back of the filter, and we'll see where we go from there. But I think that's the key: is good quality water, but at a lowered pH, and some more cave choices. I'm going to put some more caves in there for them. Hopefully, we get some L128s to spawn. Guppies are the new discus. You know what? There definitely might be some truth to that statement for sure. There is truth to that statement. People, I don't know why guppies have gotten so popular. Everybody's into them, but
there is some cool looking ones, but there's also some like boring ones. But there is like some kind of like discus. There's some like cool to look at them, but again, they just don't really do anything that cool.
They are pretty active. They are always swimming around.
Yeah.
What I guess what turned me off of keeping guppies is if you want to breed a true line strain, it literally takes like 6 tanks dedicated to that one strain of guppies to do it properly. And then we go right back into what we were talking about earlier of genetics and line breeding. If you're trying to get a certain strain of guppy to breed true and produce that same exact strain, color, body shape, fin type fin size, whether it's Dumbo-eared. Yeah, it depends if you're going for pectoral fin size, if you're going for dorsal fin size, if you're going for tail fin size, everything else, you still have to go through the genetic line breeding to try, if you're going to try and improve the look of that guppy. So that's exactly what people did with discus as well. And so I guess to do it properly, it takes a lot of tanks. But I did see.
Also, if you guys didn't know, I used to have a tank, and there's a video on it. Didn't do very good, but it's a video on this channel. So, but after the big worm thing happened and wiped out most of our guppies, after that I didn't really keep them anymore, and I moved on to cribs. But now I don't have a tank anymore. I just kind of moved on from it. But I still like to watch videos and watch these live streams and stuff. So
yeah, Connor's down here most of the time. I think it's mostly because he likes using this computer to work on his videos, but he is down here all the time. Yeah, Fish Tropics. I don't know if they're nice yet. I don't know. I have some black metallics. The males are still growing out. I got them very young. The males are growing up. They're looking okay. I guess I'm going to have to, I haven't put a lot of time or effort or anything into them. I have them separated from the females. The females have their own tank. But I haven't put the time into actually research and see what like really, really good black metallics look like to compare them to mine. I've been just letting them grow up, but I will do that comparison soon. And we'll see if they are any good or not. Yeah, it has, right? We get away from, we think, oh, peat moss, that's gross to put in your tank or whatever it is. But yeah, people have been doing it for a long time. So, and I believe it to be a very stable way to do it as well. But if you are going to attempt to lower your pH, get a pH pinpoint meter, get a good pH monitor. Test strips won't work. Test strips won't be good enough for this. Test strips I don't find are very accurate. It's all in your perception of the colors. You get a really good pH monitor that you can leave in the tank. You don't even gotta shut it off. The battery lasts forever, and you can monitor your pH within a percent. I guess a 100th of a percent. And yes, I always start with RO water. Always, you're not going to drop pH very well if you don't. It's hard even with RO water if you don't have a good buffer in your tank. Whoops. No, I have not, Chewy, but I will definitely check it out if I plan on getting back into guppies. I don't have a lot of desire to stay in the guppies. I'm seriously thinking about selling all my guppies actually, because I just rather do other things. And this is one reason. I find live bearers are quite a bit more susceptible to disease than egg layers. I believe they are. Guppies are usually the ones that bring the bad stuff to your fish room. Try to pre-filter water. That way you can keep a lot of the peat moss out of the aquarium. You are after the effect of tannins, not the decay. Yeah, so an idea I had, Chewy, I don't know, maybe you can pipe in here and let me know if I'm crazy or not. But the idea I had with the peat was to basically get like cheesecloth. Basically get cheesecloth, put a bunch of the peat in the cheesecloth in a bucket of RO water. Leave it there for like a day, maybe 2 days. Test it, have a look, see how See, before it decays, like you're saying, just try to get the tannins out of it, and then take the cheesecloth out, and yeah, make a tea basically out of it. So yeah, nailed it. Make a tea essentially. Use the peat moss like a tea bag and a bucket of water, and that should do it. I'll keep my tester on it, and see. The problem is, I have to actually go out to a garden center or something and get some peat moss because I don't have any, and I really don't go to places like that right now, so it might have to wait a little bit. Okay, I'm following you. That yeah, that would work as well. That would work as well for sure. The other thing I wanted to do, and I wanted to see what you guys thought with this food that you guys can't see what I'm doing here. With this food, I want to take this food and see if I can get it analyzed. See if I can get a guaranteed analysis on it. The reason why I do that, I want to see if I'm missing anything, if I should be putting anything in there to get something else nutrition-wise out of it for my food. I guess my big fear, I don't know about you guys, but making my own food, I love making my own fish food because I know what's in it. But I'm not a scientist, so I don't know what I'm supposed to have in it. What I think is good in it might not be enough. So I'd like to actually see if I can get an analysis of it and see what's actually in it for protein, carbs, fiber, all that good stuff. Vitamins. Make sure I got the appropriate vitamins for my fish, for my shrimp, and I'd like to, if I can, send a couple of different batches in to see about my consistency, if I can consistently make it the same, so that I know what my fish are getting. I guess my point I'm trying to make here is I won't solely feed my fish my homemade fish food because I don't know if I'm missing something in it that my fish needs. So I do a very varied diet between my food, live foods, and commercial foods. But I'd love to be able to just feed my own line of foods and maybe even sell my own line of foods one day. But I need to know what's in it and get a guaranteed analysis. So I don't know if anybody knows where you can. I don't know if anybody knows where you can get that done in Ontario, and if maybe I'm talking out my ass here, maybe I can't afford it. Maybe it's too expensive to get it done, but it would be kind of neat to do. Pre-filtered for a week, okay. For all shipments coming out of South America with distilled back in the day of the 70s. Well, if it worked in the 70s, I don't know why it wouldn't work now. Whew. That's coffee. pH of 4 is coffee. But I may have to get this tank down to a pH of 4. They will live in it. They will, and that might be a sign of breeding times or what. I don't know, but that's what everything I've read, which isn't much because there's not much out on the L128s breeding them. I'm hopefully going to document it all myself so I can produce that. But yeah, I believe the key is bringing down a stable pH, not a wonky pH. That's no good for any fish, but just bring the pH down stable, keep it stable, heavily feed, keep good clean water to them, and they should spawn.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's an idea. Yeah, Sandy, that I'd imagine if anywhere in Ontario would be able to do it, it would be the University of Guelph, most definitely. Well, tonight was a little bit of a bust. I am sorry, everybody. We didn't get to do everything we wanted to. I'm seriously thinking of. I'm seriously thinking of. I've been using the StreamYard for streaming, but I think I'm actually going to sit down and really. I have a new computer, so the old computer I was using was a MacBook, and I couldn't figure the OBS system out on the MacBook. But with this just regular PC, I'm hoping maybe it's a little bit easier to use since my PC is not app based and the MacBook is. So hopefully OBS is a little bit I'm going to try it because I can use some different systems with OBS for different cameras and whatnot. And I don't have to add the second camera in as like a guest. I can do overlays and stuff like that a little bit easier. So maybe to do my Fishroom tours, or I'm going to need 1,000 subscribers to be able to go 100% mobile. I might have to wait until that point. So for now, we'll just have to use our beautiful little studio here. And that being said, this is JN Aquarium. So obviously Jesse, I'm the J. The N is Nicole, and Nicole's my partner, and well, Nicole's Connor's mom. So you guys never see Nicole, and Nicole doesn't like being on camera, on video, and that's fine. A lot of people don't like being on video. Believe me, the shock I get from people when I've asked some people to come on a live stream, like even like video live stream, they're like, no way, I'll never go on video. So it's not for everybody. But what Nicole does do is that updated website. I don't know if any of you have checked it out. Let us know how we're doing on it. We're not website professionals, but we did that website ourselves, and Nicole did most of that website. Nicole, put it together, put the livestock lists together, all that stuff. So you may not see the N on video all the time, but the N is definitely doing stuff around here and supporting what we do here. So yes, that's we've had some questions about where's the N, and that's where the N is. She's behind the scenes, just get her done part of the equation.
Jesse's up in front and doing the videos, and she's behind doing all the behind the scenes stuff and helping this channel grow also, just not in the camera.
Yeah. That is correct. That's what we do around here, Chewy. We use a little bit of fertilizer. I don't even use a whole lot, just a bit. The fish create a lot of fertilizer, especially when you have a lot of plecos, a lot of ancestris. They create a lot of fertilizer. What do we got here? Not when you've been taught by a mentor how to, at the cost of cardinal tattoo. That's no good. No good. Well, I think there's someone coming on after us, I believe Sand Creek, and he's probably pissed off at me for going 15 minutes into his time. But I don't really look at times here. I don't know. I just do my live streams. I try to be respectful about it, but if we're gabbing, we're gabbing. But it's Connor's bedtime. He's got to get to bed soon. We're still doing school here, even though we're in these times at home. But he's got to get up and do his school tomorrow. So I think we're going to sign out here for tonight. I hope we made the best of it for everybody, even though we had some serious technical difficulties. And I hope you enjoyed your first live stream. I know I did most of the gabbing, but
yeah, it was fun. Just being up in front of the camera, reading the chat.
It's a bit to get used to, eh, Connor?
Yeah.
Are you nervous in front of the camera?
Not really, because I'm kind of used to it. Because I've I've kind of built up the nerve of being in front of camera because I've had my YouTube channel since 2012, and I just used to pull up my camera on like my iPod and record myself, and not even post it on YouTube. Just record myself and then delete it right after, and then I used to do multiple a day.
Yeah.
Of me just doing random things, just me doing stuff, and then I just delete them afterwards, just to make myself used to the camera.
Well, that's a good idea because I get nervous. I get very nervous for a lot. Well, you know that. You see me pacing around and stuff. I get very nervous. But the more you do it, the better I think we get at it. I write myself funny notes down here. Like I have in big letters on my notes. Slow down, because I find I get going and going and going and going, and then I forget to say stuff. Or I just speak too quickly, and I miss the message sometimes. One thing I've had to learn to get used to is when I'm doing videos with a video guest, to learn how to be a host.
Yeah.
It takes a bit to learn how to be a good host.
Yeah.
It takes a bit to learn when to pick up the conversation. When to shut up.
Yeah.
When to not. The one thing when you do a video hosting with a guest is to not talk over each other, and that's a very difficult thing to do too because there's lag in the stream. So you have to learn to speak and then wait a small second.
You also have to kind of read them, because you can almost sometimes tell by a person's face if they're about to say something. And you almost have to read that, so then you know that they're going to speak soon. So don't say something and then you both say something at one time and you both forget. So it's kind of a thing where you're kind of focused and then you can see if they're about to speak and then let them speak.
Sounds like you'd be a good host.
Yeah.
Anyways, everybody, thank you for joining us tonight. We're going to sign out now. From us to you, happy fish keeping and enjoy a good night.
See you guys later.
Ciao.